everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a brand new speed build, this time doing a much bigger kind of huge mansion. So the last time I uploaded I was feeling all kinds of sick. I think my family was sick, everyone was sick, and it was like so I literally took a little bit of time away to kind of get myself right, look after everybody else, and I thought I would kind of do a bit of a slow burner of a build. So I wanted to build something which was bigger so that when I came back, you know, it was quite a substantial build, but something that I could take a bit of time with, that I couldn't, you know, I didn't have to sit down in like huge large chunks of time. It was just a nice slow build. So this is Butley Manor House. It's a 5-bed, 3-bathroom build set on a 50 by 50 lot in Willow Creek, and it comes in at just less than 395,000 simoleons. So it's not a cheap house. It wasn't using restricted packs and obviously wasn't done to a budget. So I literally just wanted to build on one of my favourite lots in Willow Creek, which is this huge 50 by 50 lot, which is up in the top left hand corner. Now, for the longest time, they had lighting issues with this particular lot, and I'm so glad it's been fixed because I love it and I love the scenery. I think it's really beautiful. And I know a lot of people have got different views as far as favourite worlds go, but Willow Creek for me will always be one of my favourite worlds to play in because I just love the greenery and the sunshine, and I just think it looks really beautiful with all the lovely willow trees. So as per usual, I didn't have a clue where I was going with this house. All I knew was that I wanted to build something which was really quite big and substantial, and as you can see from the wallpapers, I had no idea what kind of colours I was going to use or anything. I was literally making it up as I went along. I tried to kind of do a little bit of a more grander style. Like I wanted this to be a real kind of fancy house and something that you would drive past and be like, wow, that's amazing. Because I feel like it's been a long time since I've really built a house like that. So I really enjoyed doing this house, and it felt a little bit different from the more recent builds that I've done, and I really enjoyed doing it without a doubt. So I ended up playing around with the exterior of this build quite a lot. I think the main thing that I actually got stuck on with this house was the turret, the main turret, which is 3 stories high, because for the life of me I could not make a choice on what windows to use. It just took me absolutely forever, and even at the end I ended up changing it up. So the actual official finished version of this house is on the screenshot, or you'll see it in the screenshots at the end of the video as well. So I finally got there in the end, but I was very indecisive literally just about that one turret alone. But I really love this house because as big and massive and grand as it looks, and it still is very substantial in size. I mean, 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms is more than enough for anybody. It's still quite playable on the inside. I think it looks a lot bigger than it actually is. So playability on the inside is actually really quite good, and it's a really nice sized house, so your Sims aren't going to get like overly lost in it or anything like that. And obviously the 3rd floor is completely obsolete anyway. But there is absolutely loads to do in this build, and there is plenty of room in the front and the back garden, mainly the back garden if anything, because we've got a big swimming pool and like an outdoor greenhouse with planters, and there's just all sorts to do in this house. I literally threw a little bit of anything and everything in there. So I really hope you're all well and much better than we've been on this corner of the planet. If you can even put it like that. We've literally just been so poorly, and it wasn't just our family. There was a lot of bugs going around where we live, and lots of children at school were coming down with sickness bugs and colds and coughs, and it's literally just the time of the year, and the weather's really rubbish. It's very dry and really cold, so it's just not great, and I think everybody's just kind of had enough. We're all ready for a bit of sunshine, a bit of warmth now to just kind of fight those bugs off a little bit, but we're getting there slowly but surely. But I have actually got some exciting news, and I don't know whether you will have heard that little chirp in the background there, but we have a new member of the household, which I'm so excited to share with you. So, in all the time that I've been off and not really mainly doing The Sims, we have added a new little member to the family, and it is indeed a little baby. Let me get this right. Green cheek conure. Green cheek pineapple conure, that's it, which is a small parrot. And I say she because I've only got two other pets, and my other pets are a little dog called Lola, and she's a little chihuahua, and I also have a pet snake called Rose, and obviously she's a snake. So my pets are actually female, so I'm kind of gravitating towards the parrot being a she, but the fact is she hasn't been DNA tested yet, so we don't actually know if she's a girl or a boy. So I have actually sent off for everything that I need to do the DNA testing, and in all honesty, I'm hoping that she's going to be a he, because I think even though it's a family parrot, it's definitely a decision that was made by me. My husband's just not really interested. In fact, he's probably a little bit infuriated with me that we now have a pet parrot. But nevertheless, I'm over the moon, and I'm kind of hoping it's going to be a male, because apparently males are more, kind of attracted to their female owners and vice versa. So it would just make life a lot easier if it was a boy. But ultimately, it's down to kind of how you interact, how you socialize the bird, how you bond with the bird. So I'm going about everything, whether it's a female or a male, this bird's going to love me. But in all seriousness, I'm over the moon that we've got this new little addition to our family, and I'm really, really excited as well. I mean, owning a snake and owning a parrot are massive, massive responsibilities, because their lifespans alone are so long. For a conure parrot in particular, it's between 20 and 30 years, but certain species like the macaw parrot can live up to 90 to 100 years, like if they're well looked after. So it was a massive commitment, but I felt that I've been at home for a while, and I don't plan on going anywhere from home. I'm at home all the time, and I'm a bit of a home bird as well, to be honest. Like, I love being at home, and I'm just, in my comfort zone with my little family. So I know that I've got lots and lots of time to dedicate to this bird, and I'm really excited to get stuck into training and just allowing the bird to be sort of out of the cage as much as possible as well. I'm not really a fan of caged animals, and I must admit I was quite tempted to go for a bigger bird, but I thought with having a toddler and things like that, I just wanted to maybe start small, and maybe in the future it's something that I would look at doing, because I'd love to be able to teach them how to free fly and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's my new little venture, a new bit of news, and I'm over the moon. So no doubt I'll be posting pictures up at some point. But just coming back to the build, I am literally just finishing off the front garden of the house, which is actually a lot smaller than obviously the back garden, but it was quite neat, and it had lots of sort of bordered flowers, and it also had some planters around the side as well. But I was just going for that typical kind of really nice, pretty, grand sort of landscaping. I love doing lots of wall ivy and lots of different coloured plants, and that's just kind of my style. And sometimes I think builders can be a bit hard on themselves as well, because I think there are lots and lots of builders in The Sims now, lots of different YouTubers, and every single one of them is really, really talented at building. But some of us have completely unique styles. And I think sometimes we can look at our builds and think, why didn't I think of that? Or why didn't I try that? Or I feel like my builds are a bit the same, or, they're not really that different. But at the end of the day, I think everybody has their own styles. And I've noticed it with some builders, you can actually see a picture on Twitter and know who built that build. And it's not an insult, it's a great thing, because they've managed to develop their own style. And I do think sometimes I can be a bit hard on myself and think, I need to think of a different style or a different, but ultimately it's about building what I really love and what's in my mind at the time and what I feel's right. And if I can learn anything along the way, then obviously that's a bonus as well. But you know, with this particular build, I thought I just really want to build something which is really pretty, really big kind of fancy pants, large house. And so that's what I did. So just to throw this out there as well, hello, shut the front door. We have got the announcement of a new game pack, which I literally just found out today because I've been that wrapped up in Parrotville that I didn't realise we had a new expansion called Strangerville. So I'm really excited. Obviously, The Sims 4 have announced that they are releasing a new game pack, which is going to be available on February the 26th. And as you guys know, I am now a game changer, so hopefully I should be able to bring you some sneak peeks of this new expansion. And obviously I'll put spoilers on there and things like that. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. In all honesty, before I became a game changer, I never really watched videos like that because I prefer when there's a new expansion or game pack or stuff pack, I like to explore it myself. I don't really like spoilers when it comes to literally games, which, believe it or not, I'm the most impatient person in the whole world. You know, I hate surprises and stuff, but as far as games go, I kind of like to discover it myself. But for those of you who are excited and want to know what it's all about, I will be exploring this new game pack and having a real good look into what comes with it. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on it as well. And I also want to just say, just bear in mind with opinions as far as game changers go, we are perfectly able to give our honest opinions on packs, and I've always given my honest opinion. But you've got to remember that a lot of the people that are game changers are people who are massive fans of The Sims. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, whenever The Sims release new content, I'm always dead excited because I play the game that much that anything new for me is always a bonus. But I will look at it as in, I think from what I've seen so far, it's very much focused less on building and more on actual gameplay. I always feel like The Sims is split in two in that respect, that you have this kind of build mode world and then you have where, you know, the actual gameplay side of it. And I think as far as building goes, I have no idea what this is going to entail. I believe there's some sort of possibly new world, which will be Strangerville. I'm taking it. But we'll delve into that. I'll have a really good look and I'll give you my honest opinion from a gameplay aspect as well as obviously the builders aspect, which is where my sort of forte lies with more. But just coming back to the build again, I'm just working on the dining room at the moment. There was actually a good couple of rooms that I left out of this build. There was that much to the actual structure of the build, that much footage, and obviously that much of the landscaping elements and things like that, that there were certain rooms like extra bathrooms, or like there was a little music room that I did that I just left out, but I have included screenshots as well, and this will be available to download from the Sims 4 gallery under Origin ID Simkim builds now. So if you wanted to check it out properly, then that's probably the best way to do it. Downstairs of this build, I had a rather large kitchen, which ended up kind of breaking up a little bit more because it was absolutely huge. And there was a dining room leading off that. We also had, it was kind of like a through room, which had a bit of a piano and fireplace, but it was kind of too small to make into a functioning room. So we had that, and then we had a downstairs study, as well as we've got two reception rooms. There was like a grand sort of living room, and then I did the old kind of family style room, which I don't think I included in this, but one of those rooms that was literally for all the kids to pile in, play with toys, do the homework, just a little bit of a skill building area. So there was also a downstairs bathroom in this build, and as I mentioned before, there was kind of like a little bit of a music room and a skill building items sort of room, which was more for adults, and it was much smaller as well, so I decided not to include that. But then upstairs we've got the 5 bedrooms and the 2 bathrooms as well, so there's loads of room in this house. But at the same time, as much as it's built on a huge lot, it just didn't feel like it was that big that you would lose your Sims in it. I do think it's on the larger side, but I do think I would be quite comfortable playing in it. I don't think I'd feel like I was going to lose my Sims in the house. But I definitely loved the feeling of this house, and there was no particular style as well with the inside. It wasn't done like really posh or really modern or really traditional. It was just that whole kind of just normal family type vibe. You know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. Anyway, moving on. So I did actually include the footage for the bathroom downstairs, but literally the bathrooms are just very similar in design. I always do my bathrooms the same because I build that many houses that I tend to kind of do. I don't build them all the same. I use a lot of different wallpapers and different styles because actually we've got a lot of choice, I think, in The Sims when it comes to bathrooms. I think we've got a lot of different styles. So I always do in each one of my houses different styles, but they're all the same throughout the house, if that makes sense. But I'm just moving on to the upstairs now, and this is the master bedroom, which I decided to do kind of like this yellow and green sort of style, and I really quite like it. I must admit, I do quite like deep greens, but in real life, I don't think I've used deep green anywhere. It's a little bit like the grey thing as well. Like, I went through a phase of using grey in all of my builds, and I'd never used grey in real life, but I don't know, it's just different in The Sims. Applying colour in The Sims is just so much easier than in real life, because I couldn't imagine putting that colour green on my living room walls just looking at it now. And I sometimes wonder that as well, you know, if you actually did your own house up, like if I took my house and I did it up with the way that I design houses in The Sims, would it look nice or would it look ridiculous? You know, that kind of, it's just weird, isn't it? Just thinking about it and like, you know, could you apply the same sort of theme? So in the upstairs of this build, we've got the 5 bedrooms. So we've literally got the master bedroom. We have this bedroom here, which is kind of like a girly child's room. And then there was a very sort of grown up, I'd say teen boys room or young adults room, which has got kind of like some recording equipment in there. Someone who might want to go down the get famous route and, you know, look at getting famous in life as a career or whatever. And that was this particular room here, which had its own ensuite on the side as well. I also did a twin double room, which was like a kid's boy room, and I don't think I included the footage of that either, but that was like a very blue and yellow room. And in the turret, I did a kind of, I'd say it was a guest double room, but I really liked that room as well, and it had the most amazing views because this particular lot as well in Willow Creek has the lovely, lovely views over like a harbour, and it just looks beautiful because the boats come in and out. And yeah, it's definitely hands down one of my favourite lots in the entire game. But I really hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and you've enjoyed all of my waffling on through. Tell me your stories down below. If you own a parrot, give me some tips. I want to hear it all. I'm excited. But yeah, I'll be bringing you some footage for the Strangerville expansion. I'm totally excited for that. And I'll see what I can come up with that you can have a little nosy on through. But yes, this is available to download now on the Sims 4 gallery. But thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, it would be awesome to have you on board. But I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and please give me a big thumbs up if you have, because it helps me to know that you're enjoying the content. But take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.